Okay, we are into the Redevelopment Agency meeting of June 17, 2015, and now called to order. This meeting is properly noticed and posted in compliance with the open meeting law. These proceedings are being video recorded as well as presented live on KCLV Cable Channel 2 and are closed captioned for hearing impaired viewers. Please note some customers of Cox Communication who do not have a cable box may view this meeting on digital channel 89.5. The Redevelopment Agency meeting, as well as all other KCLV programming, may be viewed on the city's website at www.kclv.tv. The proceedings will be rebroadcast on KCLV Channel 2 and the web the Wednesday of the meeting, 8 p.m., also Friday at 4 a.m., Saturday 7 p.m., Sunday at 7 a.m., and the following Monday at 1 p.m. This building is protected by state-of-the-art fire detection and suppression sprinkler system. If alarms should activate during today's meeting, please evacuate using the exit at the back of these chambers out to the mezzanine. Proceed out the double doors to the terrace and down the back staircase. For anyone who has difficulty with stairs, please check with a marshal or fire official for assistance. Once outside, assemble on the northeast corner across the street from City Hall at Lewis and First Street. Employees wearing safety vests or city marshals will inform you when it's safe to re-enter the building. For public comment related items on the agenda, citizen participation and public hearing items, we have available a speaker card which you may complete and submit to the city clerk up front here. Cards are available online, the clerk's office, or at the rear of these chambers. If you do not submit a card, it does not prevent you from speaking under public comment, citizen participation, or specified public hearing items. If anyone is present today who has need for hearing impaired equipment, please also come forward and see our city clerk up front. And if you parked in the parking garage across the street and did not receive a validation ticket as you enter the chambers, please exit to your right and see the security personnel at the entrance. We'll move on to item 3. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to the matters on the agenda for action. The amount of time any single speaker is allowed may be limited. All comments made will be cross-referenced to those specific items. If anyone submitted a speaker card who wishes to speak under this portion of the agenda, please come to the podium and state your name for the record. Hearing seeing none, we'll move on to agenda item 4. Possible action to approve the final minutes by reference of the regular Redevelopment Agency meeting, May 6, 2015. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes, Mayor.
Thank you. There's a motion. Please vote and please post.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. I should give you a cord to your monitor. Thank you. And that motion carries. Agenda item 5, discussion for possible action regarding the modification of the Commercial Visual Improvement Program, CVIP, which provides financial assistance to new, existing, and expanding business owners with exterior improvements to commercial properties within the redevelopment area. And those are that is in wards 1, 3, and 5 with Councilwoman Tarkanian and Councilman Coffin and Barlow. And good morning.
Good morning, Mayor Goodman, members of the Agency Board and City Council. For the record, Bill Arndt, Director, Economic and Urban Development. I'd ask that this item be held in abeyance to the July 1st Redevelopment Agency meeting. We'd like to spend a little bit more time briefing you on the changes to the VIP program and also to have Councilwoman Tarkanian participate in the vote for this item. So I'd ask that it be held till July 1st.
Okay, there's a motion. Oh,
Move to obey till July 1st, Mayor.
Okay, there's a motion to obey this item till July 1st. Please vote and please post. And what does that coordinate with on our, is it on here as well? What number?
That item is only a redevelopment agency item, so there's no additional items related to that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Agenda item 6, discussion for possible action regarding a parking garage payment agreement between the City of Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency and the Fremont Street Experience Parking Corporation, FSE, to continue city reimbursements through January 31st, 2026 for acquisition of parking-related property located at 495 in the redevelopment area, Councilman Kaufman's area.
Thank you, Mayor Goodman. Again, for the record, Bill Arndt, Director, Economic and Urban Development. This item is really a procedural item for the benefit of the agency to continue the efforts of the Fremont Street Experience and what is known as the Red Garage or the Red Parking Garage that supports the experience as well as visitor parking in the area. The redevelopment agency participated in this by assisting with acquiring the land some time ago, and we entered into a 20-year agreement back in 1995 for repayment of monies in excess of what was an agreed participation by the agency. We had agreed to participate in the land acquisition to a ceiling of $6,400,000. The acquisition exceeded that. The acquisition was approximately $11.1 million. So that difference, Fremont Street Experience agreed to reimburse the redevelopment agency not in one lump sum, but over time. That period of time was based on net revenues coming in from the parking garage and the retail at the parking garage. And with some of the recent changes that the experience made with the Slotzilla experience and other changes, they fell a little bit behind on their payments. They have caught up on their payments, and they're continuing on a payment plan which will have us paid in full by the year 2026. So this is simply memorializing in an agreement what we've already agreed to in principle on repayment of that amount, and that will result in the agency being repaid in full for that difference between the land acquisition price that the agency agreed to provide and the ultimate acquisition price when we acquired the land prior to the construction of the garage.
Thank you.
The item is in order. Staff recommends approval, and I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Okay, and I see Mr. Victor just came in behind you. Comments, questions from
Your Honor.
council? I hear a voice.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Good. You can bang with that too. Okay.
Your Honor, thank you. The record needs to have something added, and that is the reason why the price went from $4 million to $15 million. And it wasn't just because of mismanagement or contractor overruns. I think we make sure that the record indicates that it was a court decision, including penalties and interest, significant size, plus additional, in bridge, you used to call it an insult for not being nice to Mr. Pappas. So let's make sure you put that in the record right now, the amount of money attributable to the lawsuit, the judgment by the court.
Certainly, again, for the record, Bill Arndt, the amount that the redevelopment agency agreed to contribute for acquiring the land beneath the garage was $6,400,000, and that was a ceiling. And any monies above and beyond that, Fremont Street Experience agreed to pay. The total acquisition cost was $17,531,200. The difference between our ceiling and that amount is the amount of $11,131,200. So that's essentially the overage, rather than the agency bearing the brunt of that.
Bill, I know that you already said that. I didn't want you to have to say it again.
Okay.
The point is that of that $11 million, how much of that was the price as determined to have been supposedly offered by the city in its condemnation? Do you know, was it before your time?
It was before my time. I believe Mr. Jerbitt was here when that happened, City Attorney Jerbitt.
If we could just have approximate numbers, that's all. I think it's for new people that want to know how the hell you could spend that much on a parking garage.
I can jump in. The original budget for the property acquisition for that block was $6.4 million, and I think it exceeded it by about $10 or $12 million.
Right, but that included what the judge has ordered, right? In the land was undervalued according to the courts.
Well, what happened is we actually got into negotiations. We actually settled out of court. I think one of the properties we settled was with the Heck family, and it was not only for the property on that particular block, but it was for the Woolworth building across the street that later became part of Neonopolis. So it's kind of complicated. It was parcel by parcel, and all of them ultimately settled, but it was as a result of some of the court orders that we had to do that.
Okay, but of the 17 million, a lot of it, 17 or 15? 17 million?
I think it's about 17.
A lot of that had to do with interest and penalties, though. I know that it mounted up over the years as the court case went on. All right. Sorry, Bill, belabor the point here, but I wanted to make sure people in the audience who are new understand why it's so much more money. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. And forgive me if I wasn't clear. I think the point I was trying to make is that even at the time, the redevelopment agency did cap its exposure by setting a ceiling on our participation.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions from council? You're okay up there? Okay, if you would, Councilman Coffin, do you want to make the motion on this, please?
All right, Your Honor, thank you. I move for approval of item 6.
Thank you. There's a motion. Please vote. Please post. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Agenda item 7, RA 122015, discussion for possible action regarding a resolution finding the project proposed by the Commercial Visual Improvement Program, CVIP, agreement between the City of Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency, RDA, and 900-932 Casino Center, LLC, owner, located 900-932 South Casino Center Boulevard, to be in compliance with and furtherance of the goals and objectives of the redevelopment plan, and authorizing the execution of CVIP agreement by the RDA not to exceed $50,000, RDA Special Revenue Fund, Redevelopment Area, Councilman Coffin's Ward 3. This item is related to Council Item 42R-312015. Mr. Arndt.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, for the record, Bill Arndt, Director, Economic and Urban Development. I'd ask that this item be stricken, and we're going to place a new item on the July 15th City Council agenda. I ask that it be stricken without prejudice. Our staff made some errors in some of the corporate names working with our City Attorney's Office, and so we need to change those. The applicant has filled out the requisite paperwork, so we intend to bring the item back before you as a new item on July 15th. So for this item, I would ask that there be a motion to strike the item.
Thank you very much.
In that case, Mayor? In that case, I would move to strike recommending, strike agenda item 7 from the agenda.
Okay, thank you. Any, Councilman Coffin, okay? Good. Yeah, okay, thank you. This motion, please vote. Motion to strike on 7, and they will be back on the 15th of July. And please post. That motion carries. Agenda item 8. Thank you, Mr. Arndt. Citizen participation, public comments during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the redevelopment agency. No subject may be acted upon by the redevelopment agency unless that subject is on the agenda and scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, please come to the podium, give your name for the record. The amount of discussion on any single item, subject, as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed will be limited. Anyone wishing to speak under this portion of the agenda? Okay, hearing and seeing none. Move on to agenda item 9. Agency member recognition. Comments made by individual agency members during this portion of the agenda will not be acted upon by the agency unless that subject is on the agenda and is scheduled for action. Is there any member of the redevelopment agency who wishes to speak under this portion of the agenda? Are there any other comments? Okay, hearing none, this redevelopment agency is adjourned, and it is 8:45. We will start our council meeting promptly at 9 o'clock. Thank you very much.